Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Sandy and our founder, BJ of the St. Pete Timebank. And we're here this morning taking up a little bit of your time or whenever you watch this to go over what the about the time bank and cultivating those relationships in the time bank. BJ, say good morning to everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday.
Right?
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
I know,
So,
right?
yesterday we had a board meeting, right? And we were talking about uh cultivating relationships within the time bank. And in fact, what did we call this podcast we're doing right now?
Creating social capital in St. Pete Time Bank.
Exactly. So I want you to tell us exactly what does that mean coming from your heart.
Well, remember the discussion was somebody mentioned somebody complained because they put out a request and nobody responded. And it's like, this stuff isn't magic. Time banking isn't magic. I think it's magic when it happens, but it's something that we have to work at. Creating social capital is no different than creating financial capital. We work to create financial capital, we get paid. And if we don't spend everything that we earn, which is hard in today's time, but then we create this capital that we can use, later. And the time bank is the same thing with social capital. And one of our members is the best at explaining this is Laura Oldaney. But every time we make an exchange, we are creating a capital that we can use later, but it takes us engaging with other human beings. And we likened it to a garden yesterday. It's like we have to prepare the soil. We don't just go throw seeds in the soil. If we did that, one or two might pop up. But if we make sure that the soil is healthy and we've composted and we've got biomes in the soil and there's good water to the soil, then the soil is ready for the seeds. And it takes work. It's not something that happens on its own. And so we suggest that members take a look at the time banker's talents. And if you need somebody to I'm just picking out of my head, like write a resume, go look in the software and see who has said that they have those talents. Pick up the phone and call them if their phone number's in the software, or write them an email, and ask them if they're interested in helping you out. It doesn't happen magically by itself. We have to be engaged.
Yeah, you got to take time to follow up too. I put messages in the software and sometimes they don't get answered or somebody doesn't see them for a while.
Yeah, there's a little bit of it's not really a glitch, but like I'm in the software all the time and I very rarely log out. I know tech people will go, oh, that's horrible. And I understand that, but I run it from my phone the majority of the time and I just don't log out. And if you are logged into the software, you don't get an email. If I'm logged out of the software and you message me, I'll get an email that says Sandy da 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 da, and then I go log in. But when I'm logged in the software, that doesn't happen. So that's a kind of it's not a glitch in the software. It was the way that it was created. I
Right.
would have created it differently, but if I ruled the world, well, we'd be in trouble in some aspects, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But so that's the way the software works. And so if you send a message to somebody in the software and they don't answer, they probably didn't get it. So you might want to go in and do it again. It's like, again, be involved. Don't just sit back and wait for it to happen. Go out and get it. Go out and make it happen. Create your own social capital. We're all responsible for creating our own. It
Exactly.
doesn't magically happen.
It doesn't, and it takes time too. People want to feel safe and get to know you. I put many requests on there, and they've fallen by the wayside.
Hey, I'm the founder and I put requests on there and I get crickets.
Exactly,
It just doesn't happen
exactly.
all the time. I mean, it's
So
gotten after 6 years of asking and working on relationships and stuff like that. Usually now when I put something out, people go, oh, BJ wants something done, therefore let's see if I can help. But it doesn't always happen. I get crickets too. And if I don't do the effort, if I don't pick up the phone and call, or if I don't look in the software, it doesn't happen for me. So there's no favors here.
No,
It doesn't happen
exactly.
yet.
And here's the thing too as well. We have the Facebook page.
Mhm.
For goodness sakes, use it. Say, I put a request in the software. Could you please take a look at it? Here's what I'm requesting. If you have that capability,
Yep.
please respond too. But
Yep.
like BJ said earlier, you can also go in and look at everybody's profile and see what they have, said that they'll help with.
Yeah, and or the Timebanker's Talents. If I need computer assistance, I can go into Timebanker's Talents and look at that section in the software, and there'll be 10 people that have listed that they have that talent. So I can email them, I can call them, I can reach out to them, and ask them, hey, I'm having this problem with, but can you help with that? So that's the best way to do it. But
Yeah.
if I can just read their profiles, like you said, and get to know who they are.
Mm-hmm. One of the things for me, like if you want to get a hold of me, it's best just to call me.
Yeah, that's the
Anybody that
truth.
knows me, like, don't trust me to read my emails, don't trust me to do this, but call me.
And remember too, we did ask a little while back, and now we're asking in orientations for everybody to go into their profile and make the first sentence. The best way to reach me is if somebody leaves me a voicemail, I don't see a notification on my phone. And when I go to answer the voicemails, it's like, oh, you had 15 voicemails. It's like, whoops. So if you leave me a voicemail, it's going to get lost. But if you just send me a text,
Right.
that's going to be the best thing. And so everybody in their profile can put first sentence, the best way to reach me is, and then so when you look at a profile, if you see that, then contact them that way. So it's all good.
Yeah, I think that for all of us that have been with the Time Bank for a while, if you haven't done that yet, please go in your profile and fix that. I need to do that. I'm guilty of it. I'm going to put it
Woo,
in
go
there.
do it today,
I'm
girl.
going to go do it today, get it done, put my phone number in there. You can text me, you can call me. Best way
Yeah,
to communicate with me.
super. But let's
Put
work together at creating our social capital so we have a rich, rich time bank.
I'm totally with it. So, with that all being said, please don't give up. Keep putting your offers and your requests out there. Build that soil up. Remember, you got to fertilize that soil before you put that first seed in for it to be able to pop open and germinate and make that first sprout. So, it's
Yeah.
a little bit of work, but in the long run, it will pay off.
Oh, I'm going to Hawaii.
Right?
Time credit city, man. I
I,
worked at this for 6 years, and then 2 years prior to that with people all over the United States. And I'm doing Hawaii on time credit, so it's an incredible garden that I've got.
Yes, you do. And can you just please tell people that just because they belong to St. Pete Time Bank doesn't mean they can't reach out to the
Oh
other time
yeah, I
banks?
was I was talking to a member from a time bank in Boston. We were chatting via email. She was requesting that somebody come pick her up. She's coming to visit a friend in St. Petersburg. She doesn't drive, and the friend that she is visiting needs a little help walking on the sand, but they want to go to the beach. And so Rita from Tampa Bay Time reached out to me and said, "Oh, I saw this request. Thought you might be able to help." And I put a request out, and sure enough, one of our members said yes. So, and then I was talking with this lady from Boston, and she's like, well, how do you do that if the softwares don't talk to each other? So I went through the steps, and it's like, we can exchange anywhere. Anywhere. On this trip that we're taking, we're going to go to a time bank in Reading, Pennsylvania. We're going to go to a time bank in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm going to go to visit somebody that's a part of timebanks.org in Wilmington, North Carolina. I hope to be able to see people in Augusta and Portland, Maine. I'm going to Vermont, and these are all time banks that I'm going to visit. So we can time bank. It's kind of like, what's that credit card? anywhere American Express is accepted. So
Exactly, right?
not that I'm, saying that that's the way to go, but anywhere that a time bank will accept time credits from other time banks, which is pretty much all of them, you can time bank anywhere. So
Do you
it's
have to join each one of those individual time banks?
no, you don't have to. You just have to ask a coordinator. We had Pat Dunham, our tiny house home advisor.
Mhm.
She was going somewhere. And so she said, "Hey, is there any time banks in whatever city it was?" And so, I went and I looked and we found out that there was, and we emailed them and got a response. Now, we emailed another time bank in another city and got no response whatsoever. So it's sometimes like this. If you don't create the social capital with other time banks, you get crickets.
Right.
Cricket, cricket. So we have
Mhm.
to build that. But yeah, usually it's Google and see if there's a time bank there, and get somebody else involved with it.
Beautiful. One last thing before we cut this off for today. Can you, we had some videos made about the time
Oh
bank. Can
my
you share a
God.
little bit about that?
We did. It was just after I stepped down as chair, and I think you're the one that got the email, and they
Mhm.
said we're researching like mutual aids and different things like time banks, and we would like to come to your city and do a video. And I think at first it was kind of like, yeah, right, you know. But you communicated with that fellow. His name is Jeremy. He wound up coming to St. Pete, and we did, I think, 8 hours of filming in one day. I wanted to give him a broad range of different things that happen in time banking, and we started actually over in Tampa with one of our organizational members that is located in St. Pete, and it was 8 hours of filming. We wound up with 25 minutes of this awesome video, and he gave us little segments of each one, because there was the ROM way, the Radiant no, Refugee and Migrant Women's Initiative, and then there
Mhm.
was the 15th Street AgriHub Farm, and then there was our Jim Devaney knife sharpener guy and all around good guy, and then there was um,
The
uh,
Youth
the
Time Bank.
the senior center, the
Mhm.
youth time bank, and then Karen Steinemeyer with, that's feeding the homeless. And so he did
Yes.
individual segments of those, and I've put them on our website at St. Pete timebank.org. That's STPETE timebank.org. And if you go to the media page, you'll see them. I've got 7 of them up there now. I'm going to put the rest of them, and they will also be listed shortly within the next week or so on our YouTube channel, on our playlist. I don't own the videos, so I can't post them up there. So I'm just putting them on our playlist, and they are beautiful. They did such good work, and it's by an organization that has um, out of Chicago, Detroit, and they have a page called Solutionaries, and it's solutions to problems, and it's a beautiful job they did for us. So please go look at those and comment on those videos on YouTube. It helps us with those algorithms.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Right.
All right. Well, BJ, thank you so much for your time
Oh,
and helping us to understand about cultivating and building our time bank capital and helping
yeah.
one another. Is there any last words you'd like to give to our listeners today?
Just one of the things that Marie Nelson, the late Dr. Marie Nelson from Tampa Bay Time Bank, used to always say: if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. So go time bank and have fun.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for the time that you shared with us. And we wish all of you happy, magical time banking.
Yes, yes. Bye bye.
Bye bye.